ChatGPT, create an incredibly delicious recipe that you can make for less than $5.
Spicy lentil tomato stew. This dish is not only budget friendly but also nutritious and flavorful. Lentils are a good source of protein, fiber, and minerals, while tomatoes provide essential vitamins.
Hey guys, Dave here, back in the kitchen, the AI kitchen, I guess. And today we're trying something different. We asked artificial intelligence, or ChatGPT, to create a delicious recipe for a family for under $5. Something that could be completely made for under $5, and I think it might have succeeded. The question is it any good? How hard is it to make? Is it even edible? I don't know. I've never had a lentil before, but a big part of it is lentils, and I just spilled some on the ground, which is typical in Dave form. So as far as the pricing, it actually listed out what it should cost. It says a cup of dried lentils, green or brown, would be $1. I paid $1.50 for that big thing, but this is way more than a cup. This is like multiple cups, so you can maybe make this recipe more than once. There you go, there's your 1 cup, and I still have like 2 more cups remaining. So definitely less than $1 for that. It said this would be $1.50. It's diced tomatoes. It was actually 91 cents over at Aldi's. So we're at about $1.91. This was under 50 cents. I got a big bag of them for $3 and it came with like 7. So I don't know the math, but this is very cheap. Also some garlic cloves, 79 cents for the whole thing, and I only need 3 of the cloves. And then some spices I already had, chili pepper, paprika, and cumin, salt and pepper, and a little olive oil. So if you already have a lot of the spices, then yes, this will be a super cheap recipe. So I'm excited to see how it turns out. The first step it tells us to do is to take these over to the sink and wash them and sieve them out, put them in a sieve, and look for stones and debris and discard them. I don't know why there'd be stones or debris in here, but I guess that's the thing. So I'm gonna go wash these out and check for stones and debris. I mean, this is the thingy I used, and I'll tell you I didn't find any stones or debris. I feel like if I did find stones and debris, I'd be concerned, but I didn't really find any, so that's good. As far as the garlic, it does say to mince it, so I'm gonna go ahead and mince that up. That'll just take me a second. All right, so I got some minced garlic there, 3 cloves worth, and then we also wanna take an onion. What are we doing with the onion? We're mincing that as well. No, wait, we're dicing, hold on. Chopping it, there we go. 3rd try is the charm. Chopping the onion. Obviously, we're gonna take the little skin off of it too. So do you guys have like a certain recipe you use when you're on a budget? I mean, I would love to be able to like just say, you know what? I'm gonna only eat this $5 meal every day for like a month and just see how much money I save. It would be crazy. It would be crazy savings, but then I'd have to eat this every meal. I mean, hey, maybe it'll be good enough for me to wanna do something like that. But then, you know, I might get scurvy or something. Or scurvy when you eat too much meat. And now we're gonna chop up the onion incorrectly, as always. Don't judge. You know, what is that? You who are the great onion chopper cast the first stone. I think that's how it goes. My knife's not even sharp, which certainly makes it hard. And don't even, you know, listen, I know some people are like, oh, I'll send you a knife, Dave, that's sharp. It doesn't matter, it's irrelevant. It will be unsharp after I use it once, just like every other knife I've ever used. If they had an eternally sharp knife that I never needed to sharpen, I would pay many dollars for it. Up to $7, that is. I'm on a budget, guys. That's why I'm making a $5 lentil stew here. Make sure you watch the ads so I can afford to do something. Do something more expensive next time. No, I'm just kidding. I could cook something else. I just like the idea of a super affordable dinner. It's always good to save money. All right, so that's pretty chopped, that onion, not perfectly. And it's making my eyes water, which is another sign of a not very sharp knife. We're gonna go ahead and measure out our spices too, because up next we're gonna go over to the stove and start cooking. And so I wanna have my spices pre-measured. And I read ahead this time. It looks like they all get added at the same time. So I'm just gonna put them all into one little bowl here. All right, first off, we need some cumin, and that is a teaspoon of that. There we go, a teaspoon of cumin. Then we want a ½ teaspoon of chili powder, and you can actually add more if you want a little spicier, it says. So I'll do a ½ teaspoon because I don't love crazy spice. ½ teaspoon of chili powder, ½ teaspoon of paprika, or paprika, however you want to say it. I mean, you could say it the right way, but you can just say it the wrong way like I like to as well. Yeah, free country. Salt and pepper. How much salt and pepper? To taste. This is like, I don't know. I did kind of a lot of salt. I did like a ¼ teaspoon. And then some pepper. So there's all the spices. Put this over near the counter, as well as our onions and garlic. And then we'll bring our lentils over there too. We're about to get ready on cooking this thing. It seems like it's a very easy recipe, but it might take a while to cook. I'm gonna bring the cameras over there and we're gonna continue. Okay, so we're back over here at the stove and we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of oil. I'm using olive oil, but it says you can use vegetable oil. Into our big pot here. This is a Le Creuset pot because I'm fancy like that. I got this at an estate sale for 20 bucks, but I do love it, so I can recommend it. We're gonna let this pot heat up a little bit, then we're gonna put our onions and our garlic in there and saute them. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put our onions into this pot here. I've gotta like wrap my hands around the camera because of the way I've set this up. Hold on. Put them in there. Like so, and kind of let that get all fragrant for us. It's good to have fragrant food. Turn the heat up a hair. Yeah, so ChatGPT, when they gave us this recipe, said this dish is not only budget friendly, but also nutritious and flavorful. Lentils are a good source of protein, fiber, and minerals, while tomatoes provide essential vitamins. So not only are we eating cheap, we're eating healthy. We call that a win-win here in the cheesy AI kitchen. All right, let's move the onions around a hair. I gotta stop saying hair in referencing food because no one wants hair in their food. All right, so it's been about 4 minutes and the onions are starting to look translucent to me, which was the main assignment here, was to make them translucent. So we're now gonna add the garlic to the mix here. And again, that's 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. And that'll take about another minute to get translucent. Well, they won't get translucent, they'll get fragrant. See, I'm learning all my fancy cooking words, guys. Translucent is clear, fragrant is smelly, good, and such. So this is like a minute, and then we're gonna add our spice mixture that we made earlier. That's the salt and the pepper and the paprika and the cumin. Maybe another 20 seconds and we'll add that. It smells delicious. Can't really go wrong, onions and garlic. That's like 2 of the best smells. All right, I'm gonna add the spice mixture here, and we're gonna mix that in. Try to get them all coated with that spice. And we want this spice to also get fragrant, the instructions say, according to ChatGPT. Guys, in my last video, I cooked chocolate, some sort of chocolate pasta, which was like a recipe that would make Gordon Ramsay furious, according to ChatGPT. It was so good. I can't get over how good it was. It was like garlicky and chocolatey and Parmesan cheese and basil. It was really good. You gotta go check it out. Ooh, so this smells very seasoning-y. In a minute, we're gonna add our can of diced tomatoes. I hope I have enough. A 14-ounce can of tomatoes, and we're gonna add our cup of lentils as well in just a second here. So now we're gonna add the tomatoes. Ooh. And we're gonna add the lentils. Okay. And it says we wanna add water, a little bit of water until the lentils are covered. So we will do that. I'm gonna just fill this can I had with water. So the lentils are covered. So here's some water. There we go. That's a little better. Just stir that around, make sure all the lentils are underwater. That's what I'm assuming it means, that you want the lentils underwater. That's what we're gonna do. Is this gonna be good, guys? I've never had lentils. Maybe I've had lentils. I don't recall having lentils. I certainly never had them on purpose. All right, so those are pretty much covered. I just basically filled this 14-ounce can with water and dumped that in. Figured that'd be the easy way to, you know, I don't know, tell you how much I was doing. So it says we're supposed to bring this to a boil. So let me turn up the heat a little bit. It's funny, it says, you know, it's trying to keep it at the $5 mark. So it said, this dish pairs well with a slice of bread. So, you know, really trying to keep it budget. Have your lentil stew and a single slice of bread as your garnish. All right, so let's just get this boiling here. I mean, hey, this could be delicious. Maybe, you never know. All right, this is definitely boiling, so I'm gonna bring the heat down to a simmer, like a medium, and we're gonna let it simmer for like 40 minutes. It's gonna be a bit. I guess you gotta get the lentils all cooked and it's not fast. It says that if it gets too dry, we can add water to it. So we're just gonna kind of monitor it. Reduce heat to low and then cover. I think we have a cover for this. All right, so I'm dropping my temp down to low. I'm gonna stir it one more time. Is that enough water, guys? Lentils covered? I feel like it's not enough water. It's probably enough. Let's cover it up and we'll check on it in 30 minutes. All right, guys, so we're back with this lentil stew. Was this supposed to be more liquidy than this? Maybe I should look up a picture of lentil stew. No, I think this is about right. Maybe add a tiny bit of water. All right, so let's try this. It says to make sure the lentils are tender. I have no idea what a tender lentil is. So hopefully this is a tender lentil. I feel like it could use some more liquid too, but I'm not sure. This is what we've got here. Let's try it. I'm nervous about this being disgusting. The lentils are definitely tender. It's been about 40 minutes, I would say, that I've had it in there. I do kind of want more liquid, I'll say that. Like to really give it more of a stew consistency. I think I'm gonna add a little more liquid, and I'm gonna even simmer it for a little longer because I think it could be more tender if I give it a little bit longer. I think I'm gonna turn up the heat. I don't need it to be much more tender, I just want that liquid to heat up. So I added some liquid, I'm gonna turn it up to high to kind of like heat the water really fast and then try it again with more liquid in it. All right, this is getting nice and hot, nice and fast. So yeah, that's more the consistency I wanted. I was already kind of happy with the consistency of the lentils, so I figured just add a little water and superheat it so I can get more of a stew, because it didn't really feel like a stew. It felt more like just lentils, which I found out I don't hate lentils. That's a good thing. All right, so let's try this again. Fill our bowl with it a little. Yeah, that looks more like a stew to me. A stew to baker. I don't know, that wasn't funny. All right, so in the ChatGPT, it said you could pair this with a slice of bread or put it over rice. This is good. Yeah, this is a good stew, honestly, and it costs almost nothing to make, so I'm pretty happy with it, honestly. Let me get a little piece of bread, because that's what it recommends. I mean, do you put the bread into it, kind of like dip it situation? Or do you put it on the bread? I don't know. There you go. Bread, lentil stew, whatever. It's not fancy, but totally would fill me up, and it's moderately nutritious, says ChatGPT. You know what? I got lunch, and enough lunch to feed my whole family, and it was about $3.50, so I'd say ChatGPT did its job. If you like lentil soup, or if you don't, $5, why not try it? Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe, check out some of my other videos, and we'll see you next time. Also, what should I ask ChatGPT to make us next? It's hot though. Might have burnt my tongue a little.